What's up? Today we're going over my 5 common bicep training mistakes. Let's get into it. Man, why are your feet so wide? Common mistake number 1 is basically the setup. Having wide ass legs. I'm always saying, guys, your setup is going to determine whether or not you're gonna have a good exercise or not. And simply the fact that when you sit down too wide, and I see this happen all the time, people sit down so wide and then they have to dodge their legs when they do an actual rep. So, super simple move. Close your legs. Put them right in the middle, come to the edge of the bench a little more, sit down firm, chest up nice and tall, and then you're not brushing your legs every time you do a rep. And there's not a problem at all with doing a little bit of a side lean so you can kind of keep your bicep tendon basically in line. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you have to dodge your entire lower body just because you're sitting down wrong, kind of useless. So, easy mistake to fix, close your legs.
Oh, not good.
Looks familiar, doesn't it? Only problem is, I'm the only person here that's supposed to be using their hips.
Okay.
Common bicep mistake number 2 is using way too much swing in the hips. Okay, so the reason why this is a bad mistake is, number 1, you're gonna miss the biggest part of the lift, and we're always talking about the lengthened portion of the lift. So when it's lengthened, shortened is basically when the arms are flexed. Lengthened is when it's on the way down. So when we're doing hip swing bicep curls, what's happening is, when he starts swinging the weight and stop here, we have this part still flexed. We're using momentum to actually push the weight up, and we're missing out on the most important part of this lift, which is the lengthened portion, and we want these biceps to be big. So we want them to be lengthened. So what are you gonna do? We're gonna start off in a position where our shoulders are gonna be rolled back and away from our ears, and then we're gonna hinge our hips back slightly. There you go. So when we're back and starting right now already, we already have tension at the lengthened part of the lift. Now, when we start lifting, we can actually do the curl on the way up, and then we're here, then on the way down, we're gonna push that weight in front of us a little bit on the way down, and then stretching from here, then shoulder gonna stay nice and upright, and from here, we have this great stretch here. If we're swinging our hips, we're gonna miss all of this goodness right here. So guys, stop swinging your hips and just do a perfect rep like this. Do it.
Bruh.
Wrong range. Common bicep mistake number 2 is hitting the wrong range. All right, now Mason's in a really good position right here. His shoulders back away from his ears and everything looks good, hips are back a bit. And he's doing his curl, but he's stopping right here. And as great as these look, like, don't get me wrong, anybody watch this and be like, Johnny, what are you talking about? Those are the biggest arms I've ever seen in my life. Well, they're not your arms. And if you want arms like this or just as big as they can possibly get, let this pull you back down to full range from here. Now we're stretched, and I know he made the point already when it came to hip swings and missing this part of the lift, but if we're already in a great position and we're on a machine that's gonna pull ourselves back into position, let the machine do its job. Let the cable pull your arm back in that lengthened part of the lift, that long lengthened part of the lift. Shoulders back away from the ears, we got a nice stretch here, and then when you do the curl, coming all the way up, and then going all the way back down, from here we have constant tension, and look at the bicep. It's getting pumped even more. So guys, avoid just doing the top part. Do the entire part. Full range of motion. Sweet trap exercise. The damn well ain't biceps. Common mistake number 4 is using way too much traps when you don't need to. Guys, your traps should only be used if you're doing trap exercises. Like if you're like retracting your scapula, doing shrugs, doing some cleans, doing some upright rows. Yeah, we're doing bicep curls, and to bring the traps to the party yet again is gonna take away from all the attention for the biceps, and for the most part, people are over searching bicep exercises. So that means everybody wants to have big biceps. If you want your biceps to be big, stop giving everything to the traps. If anything, guys, we want the arm to be in a good fixed position, so when the bicep tendon runs all the way down like this, it's not sitting bunched up whenever you do a weird ass shoulder to ear curl. So if we're gonna do this, guys, a couple of things we wanna do. Depress your shoulders. Let the weight actually pull your shoulders down. And then when you're doing this, now just pull from the bicep. And that's it. And if you find that you can't do that, with the weight you're using, decrease the weight so you can do this. Because doing bicep curls like this is gonna leave you with 22-inch traps and 2-inch buys. Hey guys, before we continue with this video, I gotta make sure you guys are hydrated. You hydrated yet? Probably not. Check it out, I got errands for you. Guys, use my code Johnny10 for 10% off amino fast. Like what's amino fast? Guys, amino fast is gonna increase your overall performance, reduce muscle soreness, improve your hydration, and it's gonna prevent muscle cramps. And guess what? All our flavors taste amazing. So guys, again, use my code Johnny10 for 10% off your next order of amino fast right now. Okay, back to the show. Common mistake number 5, the supination. All right guys, I get it. This is a really good cue to get people to really understand how to connect with their biceps so they can hit the peak. We want to supinate so we can get the peak, so we're told to drive the pinky to the other side of the room. The only problem with this, guys, is it's unnecessary. It is completely unnecessary. Now, I'm gonna get Mason to basically just curl his hand like this. Right? Supination is just basically, think bowl of soup. Now look at his bicep. Everyone's gonna have a different range of motion. Some people might really only get here, and some people might be able to get all the way over. But if we go to full supination, which is basically the back of your hand parallel to the floor, if you look at his bicep, it hasn't changed. And if I do it even more, well, the only thing that's happening now is he's getting a lot of pressure on his shoulder from externally rotating way too much. So there is no need for you to try to take this pinky and drive it to the other side of the room so you're not having a spiral fracture in your wrist. So when you're doing your bicep curls and you start to supinate, all you have to do is make sure that you stay supinated by keeping the back of your fists parallel with the floor. That's as far as you possibly need to go. There is no need to go any further than this. This is completely necessary and good enough. All right guys, that is it for today's video. If you guys use these cues, let me know in the comment section below and let me know how it feels just by changing a little bit of those techniques, and let me know if you feel it more in your chest more than maybe crossover. And be honest. Anyway guys, until next time, you know how it is, iron sharpens iron, progressive overload your life. In the meantime, keep dream chasing. Peace.